Yo, what's up, everybody? Um, Before we get started, again, as you read in the title, I have a cool little story that I'm going to tell you guys about. Something that I feel that is very important. But before I get started, I just need to know that everybody here is, me good, coming in loud and clear. You're not, guys aren't hearing any echo. I actually have a new mixer for those that watch me on Twitch. I'm gonna talk about this all the time when I get new gear and stuff like that. And I have this new interface, brand new interface. So I just need to make sure that you guys, I've been having a lot of problems out of it before I get started. So if anybody is in the comments, loud and clear, all right, appreciate that, William. I'm actually streaming this from both my personal page and my public page, and I'll have this video up on YouTube later. So if you're watching this on YouTube, this was streamed on Facebook Live. But I just wanted to tell you guys a quick little story. Now, we have to start by me setting the scene. Now, I believe it was 2009 when this first happened, so I was not that old. I was 18, 19 years old, and I had got pulled over for rolling through a stop sign, I believe. It was, if I'm not mistaken, out in Corpus Christi. At the time, was it 2000? Yeah, so I had to have been 19 because that's when I just transferred, and I believe that was the first time that I got, second or first, time that it wasn't the first time I went to, I had my little run-ins with the law or anything like that. For those that know, how I grew up, that that's not the case. But long story short, I've been pulled over before. I've never not had insurance, but I've been pulled over before without failure to prove it. And what that means is that I didn't have the cool little piece of paper. Again, they can look all that shit up themselves. But I didn't have the piece of paper that said I had it. So you have a certain period of time in which you can go to the courthouse, and they might, again, this is really on how they feel at the time. They might dismiss it if you actually go in there and prove that at the time that you were pulled over, you had insurance. Very inconvenient. Definitely when you consider, people got shit to do rather than try to get to a courthouse to do this. Now, I neglected. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. You can call it a mistake or whatever. I neglected to do this at one point. And shit piled up. Long story short, in Texas, you get surcharges for this. So in Texas, if you, it's not just with insurance, I believe it's with other sorts of tickets and things like that. You get, if you don't, long story short, you get surcharges, and surcharges are things that, like in my cases, I'm paying $260. I had to pay it every year for like 3 years, or more longer than that. That's just what a surcharge is. Now, again, the importance of this is that this all started for me getting pulled over for a traffic violation with no victim. There was no victim, and I actually had insurance. Let's start there. That's how all of this started, and I think it's very important that we start right there, and that you guys really keep that in mind. So here we are in 2017. I'm still paying, the surcharges. Have been paying them for I don't know how long, for years. Seems like it's almost a decade. I've been paying damn surcharges one way or another. I've been pulled over since, but I've never not had insurance. I've never not had insurance. Is exactly what the surcharge is for. But I've never in my time that I've ever been driving did I not have insurance. The mistake, and you can call it a mistake on my behalf, was that I didn't have the fucking piece of paper that I thought I did. It was not sitting in my glove box when I initially had got pulled over, which kind of started this whole bullshit. So here we are in 2017, and I recently got pulled over in Little Elm, and they have a law, and Texas did pass a law that you can't be on handheld devices, but I believe they make an exception for GPS or something like that. But with how it's happening, in Little Elm, is that you can't have a handheld device regardless. You know what I mean? Ironically enough, I was using it for the GPS, and I got pulled over, and the road pirate, he pulls me over. He says, "Hey man, this is the law over here in Little Elm." He said he was going to give me a warning. I said, all right. I have this original video on my personal page. I went live with this because I don't fuck with that, I want to make sure if some funky business happening, it's at least broadcasted to the world. So he comes back and he says, well, your insurance, it's not my insurance. He says your license is suspended. So what the fuck? What you mean my license is suspended? Says, well, you have this surcharge that apparently you missed a payment on it. And as of I got pulled over. This was it was the 9th. I believe it was the 9th of October or so. The payment was missed on the 8th. This is what I found after the fact. The payment was missed it was on the 18th. It's $13 fucking a month. I paid them the bare minimum purposely. And, so yeah, that's what it is. So I was like, okay, here we are. I was like, well, I have insurance, because I thought that was what he's talking about. He's like, because he was mentioning that it was something about not having insurance. I was like, what do you for you? I just showed you the insurance. He's like, no, this is in reference to your surcharge that you had. And I was like, oh, this is a bunch of bullshit. So obviously after the fact, went home and I didn't pay that month, that $13, and they had suspended my shit like immediately, because again, I believe my shit went through suspension on it was after the 25th of September. I got pulled over on the 9th of October. So me missing a $13 payment that I shouldn't have had in the first place got my license suspended. And because I didn't, again, another nonviolent crime, but I was gonna get I guess a warning for it, and it's on my little citation deal that was a warning with having the handheld device. That $13 ended up in me having to go to court for the whole docking deal. And I'm talking to the prosecutor or whatever, and he's all like, well, you because you were driving with your license suspended, you have it's like a $300, I believe $75 fine for that. Again, by the time the court date is on the 2nd, I had to go for our initial court date, and then they basically said come back on the 2nd or whatever. So remember, it started at $13 because it went. Again, a little over a week or something like that, if that. Between that period of time of me not paying that $13, it turned into that. And he was like, well, you got to pay this. You can plead not guilty or whatever. But, in the event that you do plead guilty or not guilty, which is, again, we have the proof, all the proof that we need, because, you did drive with a suspended license. And, so you're going to have to pay the court fees plus the, whatever fines the judge feels tacky going, and you get another surcharge tacked on your shit. And you still got to pay the surcharge that already exists. So I was going to be out of ass load of money. And I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Over $13 that and again, I have all this paperwork. I was like, all right, well, I got insurance now. I had insurance back then when the surcharge shit popped off. As you see right now, because they ran my license and stuff like that, my license is not even suspended right now because I gave you your little shitty $13. So here we are. You mean to tell me because I didn't pay $13, I have to pay $400? And now, and yeah, I got it. I ain't gonna hot side. I got it. You know what I mean? I got it. But it's the principle, other thing. And I'm like, this shit just really happened. And the judge trying to, be all funny, and shit, talking about my lab. I've never heard any. I'm like, I ain't even in the mood right now for you to be joking and gesturing and shit. You motherfuckers are extorting me out of the money. And the only reason I'm giving you the $400 right now is because I know if I go to fucking court, I'm shit out of luck. I already know, because there's irrefutable evidence that I drove with a suspended. I've been down this road with you motherfuckers before. I already know how it goes. So you're now extorting me out of this money. And now I'm on probation. Basically, long story short, I'm on probation until for the next year or so, if that, I believe, and I paid this, and the reason why I had to pay an extra $25 if I didn't want it to show on my record, so I wouldn't have to pay another motherfucking surcharge. Now, where does this get us? It gets us here, and this is why I've said time and time again why the state is such a, and I know some people like or don't like talking about this. But hold on, before I bring this up, I know there's probably somebody in the comments. Well, you just should have followed the law. You just should have followed the law. None of this would have happened, dog. That ain't an argument. Because this all starts at the end of the day from the fact that there is no victim in anything regarding this insurance. No victim. No victim. No, and again, I had insurance. I had insurance at the time when I got pulled over. When I was 19 years old, when the shit first happened. It might have been before then. I mean, but either way, that ain't an argument. But what I want you to understand is that there's people like myself. I grew up broke as fuck. Mama working 2-3 jobs just to, keep food on the table type broke. And I'm in a situation now because I've, worked hard and I've gotten a situation, and also thanks to a lot of you guys, I'm in a situation now to where I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm financially okay. I'm not where I want to be. You know what I mean? Because I'm always striving for greatness. You know what I mean? But I'm okay. I'm okay. I live in a great house. I'm in a great situation. But what do you say to the person that is not okay? And it's people. It's a whole lot of people that's going through that same situation. And I know them. It's so many people that go through the similar situation, but they can't pay it. They can't just call for $400. So when people talk about, and granted, a lot of people get it wrong when they talk about how the state targets people that are poor. But there's elements to this that, and it's not just with poor people, it's people that work their ass off, because you got people like, at the time, I wasn't really broke. My mom was giving me money here and there, but I was on track scholarship, so I wasn't just broke. I ate my ramen, but I wasn't just fucking flat ass broke. You know what I mean? But there's people that even work their ass off, and maybe middle class, maybe okay, but they ain't got time to be showing up to fucking court for some stupid ass, because they didn't have a fucking piece of paper, or some shit, or they got a surcharge or something like that. Like, think about how much money, like that $13 now pay. And again, I still have to pay the surcharge. The surcharge is not going anywhere. The surcharge is not going in. I'm paying a fine for driving with a suspended license because of the $13. But I still got to pay that surcharge, that $13 a month for a $260 surcharge that I have to pay every year. And I just paid the $400 plus the 25, the 300 something plus the 25, which came out to over $400. So I wouldn't get another fucking surcharge for 3 years. That's 3 years of $260. There are people that could be using that money to put food on their table. They could be using that money to give it their kids, using that money to invest. But the state is extorting people for shit that don't even got no victim. There's no victim. Nobody was hurt. Nobody was hurt. Whose feelings? I heard the state's feelings. Nobody was hurt. But I think that's something, and definitely conservative, because they get this shit wrong on issues like this all the time, because they're always like, well, you just follow the law. Just follow the law. Just do what they say. Pay what they say. Like, that shit ain't an argument. And again, there's people that can't do that shit. Because if I didn't have that $400, I could have said, fuck, man, I ain't even got the money. I don't even got the money. I don't have that. I don't have the money to give y'all. So I'm gonna go to court. We're gonna take it to trial. And then they hit me because, again, there's irrefutable evidence that I drove with a suspended license. So the prosecutor is gonna say, hey, judge, we got everything you need right now. Throw whatever at his ass. And now that person's out of more money. And still having to pay the money that that you say they already owe. It's the most blatant form of fucking extortion. That's what happened to me. I'm just like paying them the $400 to shut the fuck up and not extort me for no more money, because I got shit and bills, the license shit I gotta keep on. But there's individuals that aren't in situations like me. There's individuals that do not have the money. They do not have the time to be fucking with this. But people are having their lives ruined for stupid shit that ain't got no sort of fucking victim. And you're extorting them out of money. And there's some asshole that goes around and backs everything these motherfuckers with pretty little badges, everything with people that are agents of this institution known as the state, and just kiss their ass and think, well, it's all right. You just follow the law. You gonna be good. Like, how does that make anything just? How does that prove that there's not injustice? That it's not injustice, or it's not injustices, because it is unjust. But it's something to take into consideration, man. And I've gone live and I've talked about all of the shit that I go through, and the only thing that I could think of is like, damn, if this happened 10 years ago, there's no way my mother would have been able to pay for this when I was 17 years old, 16 years old. There's people working their ass off and they're having their money extorted. It's people's lives getting ruined. And you wonder, some of you motherfuckers wonder why people getting into a life of fucking crime and stupid. And I'm not justifying that shit, because they're assholes too. I don't think, when I look at my situation like my mother, my father wasn't in the picture. She had to work three jobs. But she ain't think to go do some illegal shit. You know what I mean? Or when I say illegal, I'm saying like from a sense of, there are actual victims. Like, she ain't go robbing motherfuckers, committing fraud, or doing some shit like that to try to get the money. She didn't do that. But you're incentivizing people to do that when people don't already got shit, and you robbing them of money that they already don't have. It's the most blatant form of extortion, but it's something that is very important. It's something that is very important. I think that you have to understand. The guy in the comment, Matthew, big shout out to you, because you bring up a good point. And you got a lot of people that bite the bullet. It's the same with me. I got a lady at the house and dogs. You know what I mean? Like, people got to eat, so I got to stay out of jail. I can't afford to just say, fuck it. Y'all can kiss my ass, lock me up. And then I'm going to be a burden on the taxpayer, ironically. So, they will get fined. Either way, y'all going to get fined for it, because y'all going to have to be taking care of my ass, because I'm in an institution in a cage for a crime that didn't have no victim. Something they just artificially sort of labeled a crime. It's something that's very serious, though. I mean that sincerely, because when I go through this shit, I went through this shit with my band with that whole issue. Some of y'all know that little picture that sort of went viral while I was standing in front of a fucking tax office with all this memorabilia, if you want to call it that, or propaganda, let's call it that. But because I had to go through this bullshit of having to pay the state like over $3,000 because I bought my band's vehicle, my band's bus, I bought it out of town. And the state obviously didn't get taxes for that. You know what I mean? So they like, if you're going to register this, you got to cough up the bread. And I'm sitting here like, what if I don't have that? You mean to tell me I can't register this car? And the only reason I'm registering it in the first place is to avoid threats, coercion, and violence from you motherfuckers. And the thing that I was thinking back then is the same thing I'm thinking right now. What if this was 10 years ago? What if I was an individual that could not afford this? You'll get a one because I can't pay you. I can go back to banging. I could go, bust some motherfucker's head over monies. You know what I mean? I could, not pay it. And I can go to jail and possibly ruin my motherfucking life in the process. It shit is stupid. But it's a problem because shit like that ain't the only crime that's not even a crime. Like, it's people going to jail for even more petty shit, or having to pay fines that they really can't afford for even more pettier shit that don't have no sort of victim. See that with the drug laws. And I ain't talking about motherfuckers shooting it out over turf and shit. I'm talking about people having some shit on them or something like that in the midst of not bothering nobody. And again, I don't do drugs. I ain't with that shit. In fact, I actually discourage the usage. And don't encourage the usage at all. But I'm saying it's a crime with no fucking victim. And there are people that don't have money to pay you motherfuckers for this. And again, it's not like it's one thing to say that they're owing somebody restitution of some sort if they are indeed committing a legitimate crime in which you can point to a victim. But how does not having a piece of fucking paper in a glove box, who was I victimizing? And then y'all suspended my license. Did I somehow, and I had the license before, did I somehow forget how to drive within that week that y'all suspended my license? Did I just forget how to fucking drive? Did oh shit, my license suspended. I'm gonna ram this motherfucker right into somebody's house. That ain't how this shit work. It's insane. It's insane. But it's crazy. And again, like somebody's talking about the record, I already addressed that in the video. That's why I paid the extra money, is because I don't want it on my record. Because if I get it on my record, I have to go through another 3 years of paying $260 for surcharges. That's why I paid the money in the first place. The fine plus the extra money. Because if I don't basically how it works is that I'm on probation, I believe, until May the 1st or something like that. If I don't commit a crime or something like that, or I don't commit like some type of violation, that it will not go on my record. And that's pretty much how it works. Got to be squeaky clean, man. Make sure I ain't out there committing non-violent crimes and shit like that. But that's just how it works. So I walk the straight and narrow, I'll be okay. When by straight and narrow, I mean just avoid the threats of violence. Or avoid the I guess again, this is kind of just arbitrary, just completely bullshit laws. But basically, if I walk the straight and narrow according to the state, then I won't be, it won't be on my record. But I'm still out of that money. I still have to pay the current surcharge too. All for crimes that had no victim. So, and again, that this has to be addressed. It has to be addressed. Again, I think the people that get this the worst, that don't understand this, are the people that lick the boots of the state. And unfortunately, that comes from people that call themselves conservatives. And then you ain't the only ones, though. Don't get it twisted. I'm singling y'all out because y'all, tend to kiss the, lick the boots clean off the law boys. And that's where it really started. He didn't have to give me that ticket. He didn't have to even pull me over. Oh, he's just following the law. Just following the law. Like, who the fuck is he serving and protecting by pulling me over for having a GPS in my motherfucking hand? And it wasn't like I wasn't paying attention to the road. I'm just like, all right, well, turn left. Okay. And here we are. And now I'm out of the 13th because I did. The more I talk about it, the more it just pisses me off, because again, it started as with $13. That's it. $13. That's all it was. $13 that I did not, I got shit to do, right? Forgot about. I shouldn't have had to pay that in the first place. Again, that's where it starts. I shouldn't have had a surcharge at all. But, it's this revenue generation kind of thing that the state wants to keep bringing in the revenue. So figure out creative ways. Oh, you didn't have insurance. Oh, you got blind. We'll just start tacking on $260 motherfucking dollars a year. It's insane. It is absolutely insane. But you are creating criminals out of nothing. And you are incentivizing people to go down that road that don't otherwise have the money to put up with your shit. It's fucked up. But again, I had the money. I just transferred it, for my savings, and I was like, all right, fuck it, here, bam. Here you go. Here's the $400 you're paying me. Now, again, the judge is pissing me off by smiling and shit-eating grin on her face, talking about my life. I've seen so many names. I've never seen your name. Okay, motherfucker. I didn't ask you that shit. Just give me the fucking piece of paper so I can get the fuck out of here. So I can just avoid threats of violence from you motherfuckers. So let me take this piece of shit paper, take it up to the front, pay these motherfuckers $400, and try to keep myself clean for the next, half a year, so I can avoid, having to pay a motherfucking surcharge of $260 for another 3 years. Come on, man. No, be thankful for being Pat. You about pissed me off with that comment. I don't mean no disrespect, but I honestly, I actually found I don't have I would never put on my driver's license where I actually live. That is insane. But I do have access to the address that they have on my license, and the person that's there ended up telling me that, you know, either way, like, hey, did you know this happened? Like months out, it was like literally like the day after she even told me about the court date. You know, that was happening today. Like checking the mail, like, hey, you got this coming up. That's why they're there. You know, I'm like, all right, cool, appreciate that. So I would have found out about it either way. It wouldn't have waited. And again, I just gave him the little shitty $13 and bam, reinstatement. Just paid $13 fucking dollars, and it was all good. But that $13 because in a week span, that's all it took was a week's work. Like, and they suspended my shit just like that for not having paid it. And then what? Could have been driving for a couple of no. That's not how it works, bro. That's not how this shit works. That's not what it was. I would have found out about it either way that it goes. Again, because I have somebody at that location that gets all my mail that the state sends when they try to confiscate their bread. Well, it's not really theirs. So, excuse me. When they try to rob me. So I would have found out about it either way it went. That wasn't what it was. It just so happened that I got pulled over within that period of time. And again, let's not start in the middle. Let's get back to the beginning. While the surcharge shouldn't existed in the first place. Let's start there. Like, we don't get to start in the middle and say, well, yeah, it's all good. You know, at least it could have been a lot worse. Yeah, it could have been a lot worse. It absolutely could have been a lot worse. That don't make this shit any less fucked up, and that don't make it any less, you know, fucked up that there's other people who aren't financially as, you know, I guess taken care of as somebody like myself who is able to just cough up. That's a lot of money. You know how much fucking money that is? $400. And the prosecutor looked at me like I just got it. He is like, oh, you know, it'll be $400. You can pay that today, right? Like, what? I'm looking at the people behind me that, you know, are also, again, they're coming, you know, they're doing their shit as well. And I know some of these motherfuckers, they don't even, I mean, it was one dude that, a funny story, when I first got there, was one dude who wasn't a quote unquote in dress code because, you know, he's in a hoodie and shit like that. He wasn't in dress code and the law boy almost didn't let him in. So he would have got a failure to appear and would have had a warrant for his arrest because he wasn't dressed the way that the fucking judge and them wanted him to dress. These people don't got money like that. Some people don't got money like that. You know what I mean? And again, like this, we aren't talking about. Yes, there's people that actually go out there and actually commit crimes with actual victims that are owed restitution. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the only person's feelings that you hurt are the state. It's fucked up, man. It's fucked up. But again, the only reason why I just didn't say, you know, I did, you know, when they asked me, you know, what I was pleading, you know, you know what I said. But the thing is that if I actually took it to trial, there was no way I was winning that. Again, I know how this works. I've been down this road. I've been to jail. I've been down this road with these like it's one thing if it's something that you didn't do. But I actually did that. And granted, it's bullshit law. It's a bullshit law. And it has no victim, but I broke it. And that's all they got to prove. No matter what it was. Yes, it's a bullshit law. All they have to prove is that did you or did you not drive with suspended license? That is an irrefutable fact that I did. Is it fucked up that they did that over $13? And they did that like immediately? Like, I mean, the shit was due on the 18th. You know what I mean? And they just did that shit immediately, and by the 9th, it was already suspended. That's crazy as fuck. They did that in that quick of a turnaround, but it's still irrefutable that I did drive with a suspended license, so it's not up for debate. So I wasn't going there. So at this point, I'm like, all right, How do I how do I get these people off my back? How do I avoid further threats of violence? How do I avoid further coercion? How do I avoid further extortion? Oh, okay. What I can do is just say, you know what? Give them the $400. And then it will keep it off my record. Then I won't have to give them another surcharge. Yeah, I'm out of $400. Yeah, I still got to pay the surcharge that I already have. Yeah, I have to keep it clean for 6 months because I'm on probation or whatever. But I guess that beats going to court, losing, having to pay the current surcharge, having to pay 3 years, another $260, having to pay now more than the fine. It wasn't worth it. And just risk all kinds of bullshit happening and me possibly even going to jail or something like that. And now we're in a situation now people in this household aren't able to get taken care of because I went to jail over a stupid ass a surcharge, bro. Sucks. And it goes also back to the point I talk about this as well. When please don't mean shit. The state has no competition. State has no competition. Just because there might be somebody in jail that knowingly did not commit a crime, but they pled guilty. Because, you know what I mean? If they did not plead guilty, well, it might go to court. Then you're looking at double the fines. You're looking at double the time that you're going to be doing in a jail or a prison. It's not worth it. So people just like, oh, fuck, well, if I plead guilty, they can give me 6 months. If I plead not guilty and I know they can prove what they said was wrong, well, fuck. Or even if just, the odds are stacked again, but even though I didn't even do this, maybe I didn't even do this, you know what I mean? It doesn't matter. You get people that say, fuck it, man, I gotta plead guilty because it's just not worth the risk. If I might get lucky, and it'd be not guilty. I might get might be not guilty. But man, if I don't, and when this goes to trial and I fucking lose, you're gonna be out of more money. You're gonna be in jail longer, and it's just not worth it. And you're not helping anybody by being in that cage. As far as your family, that maybe depend on, you having a bread. So the state is it's just an institution based on theft. It's predicated on theft. It needs theft to exist, and this is why schemes as such to rake in money and to create criminals. I ain't gonna say I'm a criminal. It wasn't like I was saying it for like a felony or something like that, but they absolutely create criminals that have not harmed anybody. They put financial burdens on people that work hard and mind their own business in terms of they don't commit actual crimes in which has an actual victim. But they're being robbed. And right now there's somebody that's kissing the ass of the state, saying things like, you just should follow the law. That's fucked up. But it is what it is. This video went a lot longer than what I anticipated, but I had a story that I wanted to share. It was a story that I indeed wanted to share. I had to share. Because it's always those opportunities and those sorts of experiences that you go through, and which you're able to use as just such a primary example of what is wrong with, or why it is that you're like, in my case, why do I advocate what it is? Why am I an anarcho-capitalist? Why am I a libertarian? Because shit like this. Because people commit no crime and have financial burdens put on them by the state. It is completely fucked up. Fucked up. So y'all keep that on your mind. We need more Air July story time. Yeah, man. I mean, y'all need to follow me on Twitch. I'm on Twitch, man. I talk about a lot of random stuff on there. It's twitch.tv /YoungRipper59, YOUNGRIPPA 59. I'm always there playing games and I'm talking about stuff like that. So y'all go holler at me there, man. But I literally just got back from the courthouse, and I had the story fresh on my mind. I was like, you know what? I'm going to go on Facebook Live. I don't really do it as often as I used to, but I'm going to go on Facebook Live, and I'm going to holler at my peoples, and I'm going to let them know what the fuck happened and how fucked up it is. So, yeah, fuck the state. And we go in that video just like that. So until next time, y'all can catch me on Twitch. If y'all see me get banned or some shit on Facebook, I'm on Twitch. I'm on Twitter. You know what I mean? But if as far as interacting with me, Twitch is probably the best right now. I'm kind of funneling a lot of stuff over there to that platform. Yes, I do a lot of gaming, but there'll be other kind of creative content and stuff like that as well. And of course, I'm always on Being Libertarian. You'll be able to catch individuals. But if you just want to contact and interact with me, like you do on Facebook, probably want to go ahead and hit me up on Twitch, man. So with that being said, until next time, man, y'all boys and girls, be easy.